Hey guys, welcome back for another Hopry short. So as promised, today is going to be the first day of 5 days that we're going to be looking at German beers. And I'm going to try to make these really quick. Obviously I've turned the camera around on myself this time as opposed to shooting directly at the beer. But the first one, and I'm going to look at 5 different styles. So the first one that we're going to be looking at is the Leipziger Gose. This is a beer obviously that comes from Germany. It is the Gose style, which if you watched my Portsmouth Brewery Gose review not too long ago, maybe you have a little bit of background on this style already. I did write some things down because I wanted to make sure I covered a lot in a little bit of time, but this one is clocking in at 4.6%, so right where it should be. They do add the lactic bacteria and salt to the brew, so it gives it that sort of mineral type of flavor to it. But anyway, this brewery's been around, or this style of beer has been around for about 1,000 years. As I mentioned previously, it is similar to the Berliner Weiss style of beer. It is bottle conditioned and top fermented. But anyway, let's go ahead and get it in the glass. They traditionally tell you to pour these in a really tall, slender glass, which if you go out and do a little bit of research, you'll see this is about as close to something like that as I've got. So I'm going to go ahead and use that. You can see it's a really nice clear golden color, off-white head that's kind of dissipating pretty quickly. But let's go ahead and get into the smell. It is very bready, so I get the yeast and the malt characters right up front. I do get the sensation that there is a little bit of salt in here. Maybe a light hopping, but not a whole lot. This is, a really light beer, meant to be light and refreshing, and let's go ahead and see if it is. Yeah, so that tastes, a lot like what I thought. Having had the Portsmouth Gose as the first one I've ever had, this is the only thing I have to compare that to. It does have that tartness. It is slightly salty. I really get that yeast character out of there a lot. This is brewed with wheat, so I kind of get that bready note as well. Overall, this is a really good style of beer. One that I am going to continue to look for more on. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this Hopry short, and we'll see you next time. Cheers.